Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Season 2, Episode 3 of The Walking Dead titled Save the Last One. So, we start off with kind of a flash forward of a sense. Shane's in the bathroom and he's shaving his head. And the look he gives the mirror just is broken. Like, man's done went off the deep end. So we come back to the past, or kind of the present, innocent, I guess, and Otis and Shane have got the supplies, but there's too many walkers, so they need to split up. And they're also not being very quiet. They're firing off bullets and shit, and this is the point in time where I'm thinking, why were you firing bullets in the first place? Did neither of you have an axe or a knife or something? A machete? Like, you'd think that at this point in time they'd realize, oh shit. Hey, bullets make noise and the things are attracted to noise. Let's not fire those bullets. But I guess, there was too many of them. They were already spotted, so, they had to say fuck it. But still. Carl worsens to the point where Herschel's like, we might have to, do the operation anyway if they don't get here soon enough. And Lori kind of has this existential crisis of, does she want Carl to be saved? Does she want Carl to be alive and live through this horror? Because this is not a world made for children. And Rick says, of course it's a world for children. Carl's a child and he's still alive. He's just like, I kind of understand where Lori's coming from, but also at the same time, I really don't. Because while, yes, it is a horror-filled place and not a great place for children, you're just taking away Carl's chance to adapt. You're taking away the chance. T-Dog and Glenn roll up on the house, and Patricia starts treating T-Dog, while we get some nice little bonding moments between Maggie and Glenn. Side note, when Glenn and T-Dog went into the room with Carl, I liked that Glenn took his hat off, like, show respect and whatever. I really liked that. So Carol is crying, respectively so, over her daughter, and I just gotta say, this was the fakest crying, some of the fakest crying I've heard. But, it works, and Daryl and Andrea go off on their own, and Dale, there's some parts of Dale where I'm like, dude, you're overstepping, this ain't, I agree with Andrea. Andrea's not his wife, she's not his daughter, he doesn't really got a say in this, but this one, I feel like, he's kind of on the right of it. They're going out in the middle of in the night to look through the woods where they don't know, so, I mean, I understand him saying, hey, is that really a good idea? They come across this dude, this walker, who got bit and decided to hang himself, and, I agree with, Andrea convinces him to put Daryl to put the walker down, and I agree with Daryl, that's a waste of an arrow. I wouldn't have done it. They eventually have returned to the highway empty-handed, and Dale returns the gun, and I really didn't like that Dale scene, because, he says, look, I'm not gonna ask for an apology, but, like, here's your gun back. Do you forgive me? Like, I know I fucked up, but you can have the gun back. Do you forgive me? Do you forgive me? Look, I understand Dale's point of view, I do, but I really do understand Andrea's point of view, because he did take away Andrea's choice. And for all that, I think that it was the wrong choice to, just give up. It was Andrea's choice, just as it was Jackie's and Jenner's. So, there's that. So Shane eventually rolls up with the shit for Carl, and they start the operation and whatever, and Maggie and Glenn kind of bond. She tells her who she's lost, her mom or stepbrother, or stepmom, stepmother, whatever, or stepbrother, who she's lost. And we get a flashback. So Shane rolls up and says, Otis is dead, and he goes to take a shower, and he's going to change into some of Otis's old clothes, and we find out what happened to Otis. They were surrounded, they were down to the last bullets, and Shane, I believe, was kind of wounded. So he shot Otis and left him for dead. Took the pack, and, Otis ended up ripping some hair out. So Shane's now frantically in the shower, frantically trying to get some clippers and shaves his head bald so, nobody notices. Look, I understand why Shane did it. He was trying to save Carl's life, but at the same time, no. I mean, actually, I don't know how much Carl played in it. It could have been, he could say he's doing it for Carl, but at the same time, it could very well just be like he looked at his imminent demise and decided he wanted to live, and if he wants to live, Otis can't. Otis has got to go. And I'm going to be honest. I don't know if Shane could have come back from this. I don't think you can come back from killing Otis. He can. I can't I think the closest thing that Rick has done to this, like killing of Otis, was attacking the Savior compound, and that went shitty for them. Like, maybe I'm misremembering some things that Rick did, but I don't think he's ever straight up murked someone who was innocent. Or at least he assumed was innocent. Like, even when he did murk. So, there's that. I don't. I really enjoyed this episode. It gives us bald Shane, erratic Shane, with the hair gone. The sanity went with his hair, from what I remember. I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.